Good morning, Flosstube. I am Darlene from Darlene Designs here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Etsy. I design and sell quilt and cross-stitch patterns and a few finished items, project bags, and occasional quilted piece. And yeah, if you have not followed, if you're new here and you like what you see, please follow. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, all that stuff, you know all the whole spiel. Anyway, I'm happy to have you here today, and I have a few minutes to record, and then I'm off to work for my daughter-in-law in her shop, so I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to get this done so that I can upload it while I'm there at her shop with good internet. Because the internet here where I live is not good. I am in Nova Scotia on Canada's East Coast. For those of you that don't know, I have been quilting most of my life, I guess. Cross-stitching since I was a teenager with a long hiatus in there, and I picked it up seriously at the beginning of COVID lockdowns, and it's just been full steam ahead ever since. It's definitely an addiction. So thank you again for being here. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something, but maybe it'll come to me. Anyway, I have a little bit, I've been stitching some. I've been canning a lot, and so a lot of my time has been gone into my canning. I have done green beans and carrots and one batch of mustard pickles. I have lots more cucumbers to use, so I'm hoping to do another batch of mustard pickles, maybe two, and a batch of bread and butter pickles. And my little garden produced a lot of tomatoes, but not many of them have ripened. And I know I could bring some in to ripen, but I think I'm going to make green tomato chow chow. So yeah, my husband loves that, so I think I'll make that. It's been years since I made it, but so my next few days will again be full with canning and the other things I've got lined up. I want to say a huge thank you to those of you who purchased my little promotional pattern in the last 2 weeks. This is Happy Harvest, and I put it in my Etsy shop at 99 cents, and you guys blew up my Etsy shop. That was pretty exciting. So yeah, I really appreciate it, and it was a limited time offer at 99 cents, and now it's gone to $4.95, which is typically $4.95, $5.95, $6.95. Those are the prices that I typically price my cross stitches at. So anyway, thank you so much. If you didn't get it and you're interested, it is available there in my Etsy shop now at $4.95, and the link is below in the show notes. And I have seen some finishes of it starting to pop up on Instagram. That is so fun. Thank you so much for sharing, and please tag me in your posts. I can't find my book that I typically keep track of everything for my floss tubes in. I have looked high and low, and not high and low enough apparently, because I have not been able to put my hand on it. So I'm kind of winging it. I mean, I know what to do. I just like to have those notes in front of me, but we did have some giveaways last week. So I'm going to get those out of the way right now. My new autumn pattern for my Shore Signs of Autumn was one of my giveaways. And I did the random comment generator, and that goes to Andrea Dixon. So Andrea, please get in touch with me. My email is below, or you can message me on Instagram. I'll need your email in order to send you the PDF for that. And then I had giveaways for these 3 charts that were given to me by Sharon in New Brunswick. This one is a Lindy Stitches, this one is a Lizzie Kate, and this one is By the Bay Needle Art. So this one goes to Yasmin's Made with Love. So Yasmin, if you could get in touch with me, I'll need your mailing address. And the January Flip It goes to Carolyn Green, Green with an E on the end. Carolyn, please get in touch with me. And Before the Ball by Lindy Stitches, that one goes to IB Stitching, B-E-E-I-B Stitching. So thank you so much for playing along. I don't have a giveaway today. I should, but I'm just trying to get this done quickly and I didn't have time to go looking through my charts for giveaways. Anyway, into my stitching. So I've stitched on a few different projects in the last, it's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since I've been here. Sampler September, I decided I would try to, I started a new sampler and I wanted to touch on some of the samplers that I already have started. And I have half a month left. So I have touched on 1, 2, 3, I think. Started a new one. And I have 2 or 3 other things that I want to do before the end of the month. So let's get started. This one is one of Melissa's from Pinker and Pumpkin. I'm gonna just see if I can find my board here. Sorry, you don't need my face up that close to the screen, I'm sure. Okay. So this is Pinker and Pumpkin's, of course I can't remember, Autumn House maybe? I just love it. I started this. I don't think I had to start it in my last video, but I might have. Anyway, I started it. It's a start and a finish. This is my 3rd of Melissa's houses. You can see one right there, the winter house, which is one of my favorite pieces ever. And I have her pink, it's a pink house. Dorothy May, maybe? I can't remember. Anyway, I stitched it in honor of my Grammy, whose name was Dorothy. So that may be why I'm thinking Dorothy May, but anyway, yeah. And I put my own initials on this one, DD. So I will finish that as a pillow also. And hopefully I'll start another. She has a new one, a new autumn one out. Oh, she's just constantly coming out with new pieces. I just love them all. Anyway, so that was a new start and a finish. And I had my new sampler start. I've been wanting to do a modern folk embroidery one. So I chose this one. And this is a Jane Austen quote. I think I read that it's from the movie Emma or the book Emma. And I have not seen that. But I love the quote. There is nothing like staying at home for real comfort. And you know that is 100% true in my book. So, and I printed this in black and white. It is, the model I'm pretty sure is stitched in like on a darker beige with brown floss, but I decided I wanted to do blue. So I'm using Anchor, which is something I don't typically do, but I've seen these flosses at the fabric shop that I stitch at or that I shop at, and decided I wanted to use that. So this is Anchor 150, I think. Oh, you can't see for the glare. Anyway, really happy with how it's coming along, but there was a lot of frogging. I made a pretty big mistake in the words, and I didn't notice it for days, so I just kept right on to stitching. I had all of the wording done when I noticed it. So in here I had 2 eyes in the word staying. So you see I had to take that out and and I backed that. I took all of this out. I took everything from here over out, and in the process of frogging I made a hole in the fabric. Oh, yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, I cut, this is 16 count Aida, and the top layers of 2 strands were cut. I couldn't believe it. I was like sick. So I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So the only answer was I was able to put the T over the hole. So there is a little gap, little bigger gap here than what I would have liked. Had I known that I was going to have to do that, I would have taken all of this out and brought this over a little bit, and I still could do that. Whether I will or not, I got my doubts. And because when I had this whole section done, I was using these letters as a guide to start this row. Some of this gap is too big in here too, because I started this according to what I had done up here. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it, I think. Again, I could take this out and move it over a little closer. Will I? Not likely. It's for me. Anyway, I still love it. I love the sentiment, and yeah, it'll go on my sampler wall, and it'll be happy to be there. I'll be happy to have it there. Leave it to me. Okay, so that was a new start. And then these are all whips. Pretty sure these are all whips. Now, I haven't had this one out for a darn long time. It must be close to a year since I've had this one out. And I love this. maybe I worked on it in the winter. I'm not sure. Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. I love everything about this, but I just couldn't get real enthused about stitching it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because that big house is coming up and I found it daunting or what. But anyway, this week I took it out and I have really enjoyed the time I've spent on it. And I'm starting to see some prettier colors come on. So I finished the pumpkin. That was probably about 2/3 done. So I finished that. And that pumpkin is a variegated floss by Valdani. And it's called Rusted Orange, maybe? Anyway, I'm really happy with the variegation on it. It's really pretty. And then I added all this vine and this star, and I've started on the roof of the house. So I'm really pleased with how it's looking and the colors. You can't really see the colors there. It's dark, rainy, drizzly day today, so the light is not great. But anyway, I'm really happy with how it's looking. It is on 28 count. I was thinking the name was still on here. Lugana. But I can't remember what it is. I'd have to look back to see what it is. Anyway, pretty happy with it. So that is Feast of Friendship. I know I have seen Feast of Friendship done and someone had changed the words Feast of Friendship and put something else. And I'm going to look on the hashtag to see if I can find it, because I'm not sure I want to put Feast of Friendship on there. I may decide I want to put something else. So if you know of someone who's put something else, please let me know in the comments who that is. I showed you this one last time, and I did stitch on it a bit more. This is Daybreak by Carolyn Manning, and I added this one and started this one since I was here last. Really, really happy with how it's looking. In the video, it looks darker than what it really is, but like the colors are a little bit softer. And I think as I keep going across, I mean, it's a big pattern. There's probably going to be over here. I think the whole thing will soften up a little bit as I get into some of the lighter colors. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. So that's Daybreak. This is just on 28 count antique white Monaco. And I changed all of the flosses. I can when I get it done someday, I would share my list of flosses, but I don't have anything definite. I guess at the end of it, I would be definite, but I'm just adding and trying as I go. So this one I think I showed you last time too, and this is a My Big Toe design. I surrender all. I love these old hymn pieces, and I added this last line this time, and this is 28 count Lugana. I think it's just like antique white or beige, or it's not a hand dyed piece. Anyway, pretty happy with it. The green is a Valdani variegated floss again, and the blues are 930 and 932 DMC. So loving that. All the whips. And then I got this one out. This is a sal that I'm doing with Kim from K Goldman. That's on Instagram. K Goldman 63. And here on YouTube, she is the Contented Stitcher. So I really love this piece. This is a Blackbird Designs from the Winds of Autumn book. See it here on the cover. And I finished the inside border. And started the tree. So, pretty happy with that one too. The tree is variegated. I'm going to say Classic Colorworks. I'm pretty sure it is. It might be Weeks, but I think it's Classic Colorworks. No, it's Weeks. And it is chestnut. Yeah. But I don't find that there's much variegation. I mean, it's just very not noticeable. But anyway, maybe I just had a strand, a skein that was just not as variegated as others. It's the first time I've had that color. So that's my whips. Yeah, like I said, I don't have my list in front of me. Plans. I want to start an anniversary sampler. And I found one on 123 Stitch that I had seen before and thought about stitching. Our anniversary is coming up the first week of October. I was going to say August, the first week of October. And it's our 38th anniversary, and I would like to start an anniversary sampler on that day. The one I seen is, of course, Lila's Studio or Lila's Studio, whichever it is. And I saved a picture of it, but it's on my phone. Anyway, I can't remember what it's called. Maybe just the anniversary. It's an old couple, like I shouldn't say an old couple, but maybe a Victorian couple or a colonial couple standing on a hill, and there's a house, and it's really cute. I like it a lot. But I was so sure I had seen a anniversary sampler that's long and narrow, and it's got quite a bit of an alphabet, and it's got a few houses over on one side. Anyway, I couldn't find it. I went looking for it. You know, I searched anniversary sampler, and I can't find it. So if you know of an anniversary sampler similar to that, or any anniversary sampler, please tell me what it is in the comments, because I need to get on the pattern so that I can start it on October 5th. So please, if you can help me out with that, I would appreciate it. I forgot to say this about the giveaways. Last time with the giveaways, I had asked everyone to include a question that you wanted to ask me for a question and answer episode. Somi Sarah had done a Q&A, and I loved it based on the questions that all of you asked her. So I really want to do one, and I appreciate all the questions I got. There's some great questions, but I have not had time to put it together, and I will hopefully over the next month or so. So if you still want to ask a question, or if you came up with another question, it doesn't matter to me if you've asked 1 or 8, it doesn't matter. Send me your questions. Put your questions in the comments. I would love to answer them for you. It could be anything stitching, quilting, crafting related, or it can be about my family life or my work life or whatever. So I would love to add some more questions to my Q&A. Okay, I had a little bit of haul from 123 Stitch. Speaking of anniversary samplers, I am hoping to start Anniversaries of the Heart probably sometime in the new year. I don't know if I'll aim for January 1st, but this one I think is the 9th one that I've got now, and this one is number 10, but I think I have 9 collected now, so a couple more to get, and then I will be able to start that. Of course, I'll need some fabric. And I have been wanting this booklet by Brenda Gervais. And did I say 123 Stitch? This didn't come from 123 Stitch. This came from the Stitch Bug in Moncton, New Brunswick. She is a great girl, really easy to work with, and I really appreciate her help. So I just love these so much. Anyway, who knows when I'll get to start them. And I picked up my first JBW design, Winter in the Round. I don't really want to take it out of the package, but there's a glare. There. So cute. You know, I love my winter. Oh dear. So, hoping to do that between now and Christmas. We shall see. I'd like to see that on my tree this year. And a couple of pieces of linen. I typically don't stitch on linen. I have just used a little bit. I don't mind it terribly, but it's not my favorite. But I love stitching with one thread. And so you can't get anything above 32 count in Lugana. So I decided to try some more linen, so that I could go to one thread and see if I liked it any better than I had before. It's like I said, I didn't hate it, but I love the even weaves. So this is Duxbury, 36 count Duxbury. It's pretty, really love it. And that is, like I said, 36 count, but it doesn't tell me who the dyer is. I'd have to Google that, I guess. And then this one is Paper Bark. Not a lot of modeling in that one. Very pretty, just a soft beige. These would be, I think, really good for these. So I haven't looked at the count to see how big they are, to see what the stitch counts are, but anyway, I just bought 2 small pieces to try, so to see how I feel about it. I have watched a fair amount of Flosstube. I can set that up on my table and do that while I'm cutting veggies for my pickles and things. But of course, can I tell you, I did not make a list. I watched The Contented Stitcher. I watched Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow. I watched Mama Loves You GB. I watched so many, but of course, can I remember? I watched Yasmin's Made with Love. I watched I watched so many more. I watched Mrs. Jones Stitching, Holly. I watched Alba Stitcher. Anyway, lots of my favorites. I know one day this week I opened YouTube and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to stop everything because all of my favorites have posted it. Anyway, just was like a huge list that I wanted to get watching, so that's always fun. I have a few pictures here I wanted to share with you. Actually, that's I'll just wait on that a bit. There was one more thing stitching related I think I wanted to show, but can't find it. Anyway, so that's it for my stitching, I think, unless I think of this other thing. And I have, not this week, but like a week and a half ago, I did quite a bit of quilting. I did some sewing. I've been kind of itching to do a miniature quilt. So I seen someone making 1.5 inch 9 patches on Instagram. But of course, I can't remember who it was. So I decided I needed to make some. So they are 1.5 inch finished. And they are just the cutest little things. So I made 20 of these little 9 patches. And then I made 4 little log cabins with 1 inch strips, which log cabins will ever be one of my very favorite things to make, blocks to make. So this is just a quick glimpse. So the rest of these 9 patches will go along the bottom. This is a little mini that I'm working on. I don't know if there'll be more added to it. I may finish it there, but I may put another pieced border. I loved every minute that I put into it so far, and I will release it as a pattern, I think. It is just so fun to stitch mini and small and tiny, and it's a great way to use up all your little ends, bits and pieces that you have left over. I have not had any opportunity to make project bags. I have just been too busy. Maybe in the next couple of weeks I will get to that. I have a stack ready to put zippers in and finish in one way or another, but life is just busy. So that's it for my sewing and stitching. I wanted to share also that I was involved in a community theater event this past weekend. The name of the play was Seagull Crest. We all get the name confused. But I have been acting in community theater for about 10 years, I think. Maybe, yeah, I think it's been about 10 years. It was on my bucket list. I had a I had a health issue. Many of you know I have had cancer twice, and that was a bucket list item that I told myself after recovering that I was going to try some community theater. So I got in contact with the local playwright who was a teacher of mine in grade 11. He was my homeroom grade 11 teacher, Hal Terrio. He's awesome. He writes most of the plays that the groups here perform, and he wrote this one. And it's about an older lady that is a millionaire that was a bit of a recluse and really could care less about the community around her and how much they might be suffering or hurting, and how she gets her eyes opened to that. And so I played the part of her companion, her maid, and there was a lot of sarcasm, a lot of bantering back and forth between them, which is my favorite type of play or my favorite role to be in. My kids came to see it. My husband, of course, and my kids came. And my kids say it's the perfect part for me because they say that was my character. I was shocked because I don't see myself as a sarcastic person. Anyway, and they said, well, maybe sarcastic isn't the right word. But anyway, it was so much fun. It's very tiring. It's a long week because we rehearse every night, and then we perform 3 nights and 1 matinee also. And so we did this in the Weymouth Historical Society building, which is an old Methodist church that was taken over by the Historical Society. I think they said in 1978, and just this year the theater group has taken it over because the Historical Society just couldn't keep up with it anymore. So it's a beautiful old church, and it's perfect for the New France La Nouvelle Society. I don't think I've told you about that, but I may have. And I don't have time to tell you today, but I will tell you about that in an upcoming video. Anyway, I wanted to share a couple of photos from the play. So my nephew is often in these plays with me, and it is a pleasure to do these things with him. He is a character. This is him in the red. That's my Nick. Anyway, he was quite the character in this one too, but he is a definite character anyway. Whoops, wrong way. And then that's him and I there. You can see the beautiful woodwork in the church there. And this is me and the old babe on the set, and that's the cast. Anyway, it is a really fun thing to be involved in. If you ever thought you might like to do that, you definitely should try it. I know there's things I'm forgetting, but terrible. What a great memory I have. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I will hopefully be back in a couple of weeks. If not, it'll probably be, between 2 and 3 weeks. But we are going to be away the week of our anniversary. We're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, to get to Keji for camping over Thanksgiving weekend. It's always a great weekend apparently there, but we've never been before, and it's really hard to get in, but we did manage to get a site. Now, hopefully nothing leads to cancellation this time. Last time we tried to go, we both got COVID. So hopefully, like I said, fingers are crossed, we'll get there. So that would be 2 weeks time. 2 weeks? No, that would be 3 weeks. So hopefully just before we get to Keji, I will get a chance to film. It's my sister's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Loretta/Kath. I will be spending some time with her. And just a busy couple weeks coming up again. I have a surprise coming up for my husband, and I'll tell you about that hopefully in the next video. And I guess that's it. So have a great day. I'll see you later. Enjoy all your stitching.